before you.
Okay. Okay, today we're going to talk about the second part of the absorption testing. That's the 5-hour boil. It has a separate procedure from the 24-hour, this right here. You can find it on the Acme intranet under the lab test procedures, just same place as all the others. So for 5-hour boil, you're going to use the same set of brick that we used in the previous 24-hour test. So you got a brick right here that you've done 24-hour absorption on, you've gotten the weight. The next, first thing you're going to do is you take the brick, and of course it's going to be a set of 5, but we're just going to do 1. You're going to place it inside the pot here that's full of water. You put the whole set in there, and if you're running multiple sets, that's okay too. You're going to fill it up to about 1 inch from the top with regular, just room temperature water. Put your lid on there. This is an old gas stove, so basically we just use a portable propane tank here. Turn your burners on. Light your burners. Safely turn that off. Make sure all 4 are good. And basically what you're going to do now is you keep an eye on this and you wait for the water to boil. Normally here in the lab during the summertime, for a pot this size, you're looking at maybe an hour and a half or so, hour 15, hour and a half before it comes to a boil. So you have to keep an eye on it. When you notice that it comes to a boil, that's when the clock starts. And when you start the clock, you go for 5 hours. When 5 hours is done, you come in, you turn the burners off, and then you let the brick sit until the water cools to room temperature for what we do here. And normally probably what most of you guys would end up doing is just leaving them overnight. And then when you come in first thing in the morning, the water will be cooled down to room temperature. You'll take your lid off. You'll take your brick out. It'll be boiled. You'll go ahead and get a weight, just like you did on your 24-hour absorption, exactly the same thing. You take your brick, have a rag or whatever, get your loose water off, weigh up your brick here. In this case, it's 876.6. We're just going to use, I'm going to go through the calculations now. We've used different brick because we've shot these at different times. Okay, so now we've basically, to show the calculations, I've got test sheets of a full set of brick we run. So I'm going to go through how to do the calculation for the 5-hour boil. So it's more about how to do the formula here, don't worry about what the numbers are in this case. So the brick we're going to do here, the boiled weight when we weighed it up after boiling, in this case, is 844.5 grams. And that's your boiled weight, wet weight boiled. Your dry weight original for this case, this brick started out, this half brick was 761.2 grams. And that goes here, and it's also what you divide it by, 761.2. So you've got your numbers here. So let's see real quick. 844.5 minus 761.2. That's 83.3. And then you divide that by your original weight, 761.2. And that gives you 0.1094. Of course, to get the percentage, you multiply that by 100, and that gives you 10.94%. So that is the 5-hour boil absorption for this brick. Now we're going to go over the CB ratio. What that is the C in the ratio is the cold water absorption, which was your 24-hour that we did earlier. The B is your boil, which is your 5-hour number. In this case, it's going to be 10.94, which we just finished doing. The ASTM standard for the C over B ratio is 0.78. So that's kind of what we're looking for, 0.78 or under. There is a caveat in the C over B. If all the brick in a set of tests have a 24-hour absorption that's below 8%, then the C over B actually becomes irrelevant. It doesn't matter what the number is. But if any of your absorptions that are cold water are above 8%, then you have to meet the C over B ratio being 0.78 or below. So in this case, for the brick we were talking about here, where we got the 10.94% on the boil, the original 24-hour absorption was 7.29. So you'd have your 7.29, which is your 24-hour, your 5-hour boil, in this case is 10.94, and this is a simple ratio. So you're basically just going to divide 7.29 divided by 10.94, and that gives you 0.67 here. So this one is well within ASTM specifications.